Mr. O'Brien was the youngest person elected as president of Teamsters Local Union 25, a position for which he was reelected 6 times. He was sworn as the 11th general president of the Teamsters this March. Mr. O'Brien, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Sean O'Brien. I'm the general president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today to discuss Amazon, its labor and business practices, and its relationship with the federal government. To put it plainly, it is wrong for our government to be giving taxpayer dollars in the form of federal contracts to companies like Amazon. You are rewarding employers who repeatedly, knowingly, and purposely violate federal labor laws, drive down wages and standards in core Teamster industries, and create dangerous working conditions. To be clear, President Joe Biden is the most pro-union president of our lifetime, and the Teamsters Union applauds his administration's actions on issues of great concern to working families. We proudly support President Biden's executive orders on pay equity and $15 an hour minimum wage requirements for federal contractors. And the recommendation for federal procurement included in the White House Task Force on Worker Organizing and Empowerment will support and encourage responsible, high-road employers. But as Chairman Sanders has said, we have the power to completely stop companies that break labor law from receiving federal contracts, so why are we not doing it? As we already know, Amazon is a habitual lawbreaker. The company was found guilty last year of illegally firing 2 workers after they advocated on behalf of their co-workers at an Amazon warehouse. Amazon broke labor law in Alabama when workers tried to organize, forcing their election to be rerun this year. In December, the NLRB cited Amazon for illegally threatening, surveilling, and interrogating workers who were trying to start a union at its Staten Island facility. These kinds of actions make something very clear. When workers try to organize, Amazon breaks the law. When workers raise their voices, Amazon does whatever it takes to shut them up. Because Amazon is terrified of the power workers have when they act collectively. Sadly, while Amazon acts with impunity to break the law, our government recently saw fit to award the company a $10 billion federal contract for cloud computing services. While our government was spending taxpayer dollars on Amazon's web services, the company reportedly spent $20,000 per week on union-busting consultants in Staten Island alone. What's more alarming is we know that these numbers barely scratch the surface of what Amazon spends to prevent workers from having any voice whatsoever on the job. Americans have the fundamental right to join a union together and bargain collectively over the terms of their employment. The federal government, under the National Labor Relations Act, has a mandate to encourage worker organizing and collective bargaining and to promote equality of bargaining power between employers and employees, as President Biden's executive order on worker organizing and empowerment boldly states. But our government ignores that mandate with every dollar that it puts into the pockets of Jeff Bezos and his organized crime syndicate known as Amazon. Why are elected officials giving taxpayer money to a company that is willing to use any available means, illegal or not illegal, to deny workers their federally protected rights? Why are we supporting the growth of a company that is destroying good middle-class jobs, creating unsafe working conditions, and assuming no responsibility for much of its workforce? As a Teamster, I've faced countless union-busting companies. As a proud Bostonian from a tough neighborhood, I've confronted my fair share of schoolyard bullies too. Let me tell you, you don't take a beating from a bully, then fill his pockets with money and expect fewer beatings. Amazon has been beating up on American workers for too long, and our government has been letting them do it, and it needs to stop. Amazon relies on an exploitative business model that's simply brutal for workers. The company's punishing pace of work results in worker industry rates that are nearly twice as high as that of all other non-Amazon warehouse facilities. Amazon employees are seriously injured at rates that are nearly 80% higher than the rest of the entire warehouse industry. Amazon accounts for all warehouse worker injuries, yet the company only employs a third of all workers nationwide. Why is our government rewarding this behavior? Why aren't we doing more to actually protect American families? As the General President of the Teamsters Union, a union that represents more than 1.2 million working people, I've been traveling the country a lot this year, spending time with workers face-to-face. And I'll tell you this, working people of all parties are losing faith in our government. It feels like big business is the only thing our government cares about. What happened to we the people? Billionaires pay little to no taxes, and then they are handed billions of more by our government after they break the law. When our government turns a blind eye to Amazon's lethal and illegal practices, it feels like the system is rigged against everyone but the rich and powerful. But working people aren't stupid. We see what's going on here. It's long past time for the pendulum to swing back to the side of hardworking families in this country. To this committee and to the entire federal government, do your duty to protect American workers. We are watching, we are listening, and we are voting. Tell Amazon that enough is enough, and then show them you mean business. Don't give this company or any employer another penny until the labor laws of this land are truly upheld and workers' voices are finally heard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Brien.